Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Brunch Club presents Utharian Legends here on Chaotic Tiefling ATL. Thank you very much for joining us at this early hour. I know that Sunday mornings are sometimes a little rough to get up on, and some of our members know that a little more keenly than others today, but we are all here, and we are all good to go. So we are going to go ahead and kick off. I do want to go ahead and throw out a special thank you to Mama Strange for being a fantastic supporter of both Chaotic Tiefling and the show itself. She sent me cookies. Like, that's a heck of a thing. I have a whole bag of cookies. They're over here. You may see me snacking on them later. She may also have made suggestions about content for today's episode, so you may see that coming in later as well. So we'll see how that goes. But we wanted to extend our thanks and our love for really everybody, but today especially for Mama Strange.
And we should give a wonderful shout out to Our Lady of Shadows, who is recovering.
Yes.
And probably sleeping if she's not in chat currently.
Yeah, I was going to say, if she's not in chat, she's sleeping, and she should be
sleeping.
Yes.
But I would not be surprised to see her in chat at some point before the end of the episode, either.
So
I hope you're watching Divide, Jess.
Yes.
Love you.
We miss her. Hopefully she'll be back next session, but it just depends on how she's feeling.
Yep.
So
We've got plans either way, and we'll make it work.
Yep.
This is episode 7.
Whoa.
And as of the break today, we will be halfway through season 1, which is kind of, that's the face I made when I first realized it too. And then the GIF face, which is going to live in infamy forever now on the internet. So
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for that. So we have had quite an exciting end to our last episode. So I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a quick recap before we get started. So at the last episode, the gang went to the Vindictive, a ship in the harbor that was originally sent to carry Drotar back to the Dragon Isles to the west, and had been waiting there until this morning, actually, to set sail. Thus, a daring late-night raid was concocted, planned, and executed. The party found captives in the hold, though not the captives they had expected to find. A unicorn among several other magical beasts, many of whom had parts that are considered to be of value, especially in the Dragon Isles, where such rituals and the like are done. The ship's crew was rather quickly defeated, as Alma's new fiery summer appearance managed to lay waste to many of them all at once, but not before they were able to loose the beasts in the ship's hold. The fight continued as Tish, a old friend and new friend at the same time, met up with Finn and revealed that there was something on the ship of particular value above and beyond anything that they had yet seen. While they scrambled to try to find the location of it and recover this particular item, Alma, Sobis, Gloriosa, and Lunez continued to fight with the beasts in the hold, in particular a very nasty roper who continued to lash out and attack at basically anything that it could. Eventually, Alma's patience wore thin, and she decided to try a new technique that her summary aspect had granted her, and she cast a fireball. Unfortunately, Tish and Finn had not yet found the item they were looking for. More unfortunately, the Vindictive had loaded up for a sometimes perilous journey west and had a completely full powder magazine. The fireball detonated the magazine, which blew the ship clear in half, the bow of the ship flying out into the harbor, luckily with the item on it intact, which Finn and Tish were able to recover and get to shore.
Finn?
I think
Robin.
there's so much bleed between Finn
I keep
and
saying Finn. I keep saying Finn, don't I?
It's
There's a lot of bleed.
I'm gonna take a drink here. Robin and
Wake up.
Tish. There we go. And you'd think I'd been the one that'd been driving for 12 hours. Robin and Tish recovered the item and made it to shore. The stern of the ship was blasted clear into the docks of Dawn's Harbor, where subsequent explosions of cannonballs and other magazine bits laid waste to several warehouses on the dockside. Casualties are reported as very minimal, because for the most part, the docks that far south don't generally operate at night. Most of the ships that are coming in the later hours are further north in the original section of the docks and not the newer area down where the Vindictive had been birthed. But all of that led to quite a bit of chaos. 5 Point Strike made it back to the Cross Keys safely, and many of them had some conversations over the course of the evening, and I'll let them sort of tell everyone about those as those come up. The chaos on the docks, however, did alert the guard, eventually, who proceeded to rouse the queens from their bed at the middle of the night, and they have summoned Alma to discuss what 5 Point Strike can do in investigating this mysterious explosion at the dockside. We will very likely bring at least some of that information into the game later, but that is where Alma will be for today's game, is at the palace. Meanwhile, however, we will open our scene at the Cross Keys. Dawn breaks, as it always does. But unlike most days where the breaking of dawn is heralded by the smell of things beginning to cook and breakfast being made, today the distinct smells that waft up the stairs to the party's chambers are fully completed. It smells like Helwys has already got breakfast ready to go before the day has even begun. And as the group makes their way downstairs, they'll notice that Helwys is actually in the Cross Keys common room working at a map. The map of Dawn's Harbor that sits very near to the stairs of the Cross Keys is a job board of sorts that has been there for as long as the Cross Keys has. The large map is set out on a large table, and there are pins with either a copper, a silver, or a gold tip posted wherever the job itself is set to be. The colors of the pins denote roughly what kind of pricing is offered for that job. And if anyone is interested in a particular task, they can take that pin to Helwys, and she'll explain to them what it is that is for hire at that point, and let them decide if that's something of interest, or if they'd perhaps like to replace that pin and maybe look for something else. Adventurers have come here for years looking for work of all sorts of things, and that map has served very well to help people track down exactly what it is they're looking for and what they can do. And this morning, Helwys is placing a good 30 pins in various locations all around the city. All of them are copper. And she will smile and wave at the party as they come down the stairs and make a note that Miss Alma had to leave very early as the Queen's messengers came for her right away, but that she will be back when she can, obviously. And it is there that we will begin and let everyone come downstairs as they will.
Sudden influx of work, Hellas? Oh, what's this about?
The queens are expanding the guard by leaps and bounds. There are recruiting stations being set up all over the city for both temporary and permanent positions. So I felt it was probably worth letting folks know that if they were looking for something a little more stable, or at least homebound, that was an option.
Fair, not a bad call by the Royals. Speaking of, they've stolen our High Lady.
Well, apparently there was quite a commotion on the docks last night. They were hoping to get all of you, but I convinced the messenger that they really only needed one for a meeting at the very least, and to let the rest of you do what you do.
Very well. Thank you, Helwas. Thank you. That's exactly what we needed. We need to gather a bit this morning before we head out. We certainly want to see what happened last night around the docks, but maybe some coffee, cocoa, half a dozen eggs at least for Sobus before we go. I need to. We need to touch base as a team.
I've got breakfast on your table already. I had a hunch that you might need something quick before you headed out.
You're better than we deserve.
That's very true.
Lunas comes down the stairs, and you can see clearly that he has like puffy red eyes, like he has been crying. But that's it. He sits on the table just quietly.
And you hear, "Is there food? I'm so hungry."
Aren't you always, Sobe? Come on, take a seat. We need to round up.
Yeah, all right.
Tish.
Clarissa looks pretty tired. Kind of has the heavy look around her face, around her eyes. But she comes down and kind of takes one look at Luna's and then sits down next to him at the table and just sort of puts her arm around him. And reaches for wine.
There is wine and fresh juice on the table, a huge mound of scrambled eggs, a pile with cheese and a pile without, as well as sausage, bacon. There are some bits of chicken wrapped in bacon that have little picks through them that are set out specifically in front of Sobus's normal spot.
I'm having one of those.
I'll take a bacon. A bacon.
Robin takes a seat next to the famished Sobus and just kind of palms his coffee. Just kind of not really eating, just kind of looking around, waiting for everyone to be ready. Really.
Tish.
Sobus is in the middle. Do what? Oh, go.
Tish comes back downstairs, looking oddly very put together, and has all of their gear and is just ready to go. And comes and sits at the table.
Well, without Alma, it looks like we're all here and reasonably conscious. So let me start by saying, Lunas, I didn't thank you enough last night. It was hard. Seeing what we saw, doing what we did, and you were the only one I trusted with, Robin kind of looks left and right, with the thing last night, and I need to thank you for being there. Thank you for being the one that could help us get out of the mess, and thank you for being the one that could stand up to both myself and Alma. Neither one of us had any business talking last night. Thank you for stopping it.
He just shrugs.
Well, in any case.
Lunes,
Yes.
we would like to thank you as well
For what?
for helping with the situation. We are glad that Robin trusts you. Are you all
I
right?
didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. No, I'm not alright.
Can we offer you a cookie?
I'm okay. Well, I'm not really that okay. I just feel so overwhelmed. It's terrifying seeing you all fighting between each other.
Lunes, I love Alma like you do. We all do. Last night I was scared. Because it wasn't Alma. Not to me. It seemed like someone I didn't know. And I'm not sure if Alma knows what she's going through either, but we will figure it out. We will help her remember herself if she needs help. And we've all made messes on one job or another. But this mess seemed, it seemed a bit more severe. And the fact that it was Alma, the fact that I asked her to end the fight, I didn't realize how she would end it. I didn't realize what would come of it, and I doubt she did either. And so, for the moment, she's with the Queens. We can trust her with our business. We always have. But as soon as she returns to us, we of course will have to talk about how we care for each other, how we care for the mission, and how it gets finished.
So as Lunas was kind of talking about how he's overwhelmed and stuff, like Gloriosa's just like kind of hugging tighter and tighter, like kind of squeezing him a little bit against her side, like, and rubbing his back, like trying to like literally physically comfort him and kind of squeeze him and then like loosening her grip a little bit when he like makes noises.
And just Lunas is a little bit quiet. See, the thing is, you, Finn, who's Finn? You, Robin, Alma, Gloriosa, Sobis, and, well, now Tish, are the only things I have. Well, you and my parents, of course. But right now, you're all I have. And you fighting against each other hurts more than 1,000 fireballs. And I don't keep thinking that if I wasn't so childish with the creatures, I could have done more and just maybe, I don't know, do more and just prevent all the fighting between us. And that's, I just feel overwhelmed too, because I getting these new abilities and I don't understand them. I just don't want. I just want the fighting to stop. It hurts a lot.
Moonchild, you are many things. childish isn't one. You're wholesome, you're joyful, but no child would have enlisted a unicorn and brought me back from the brink of death. I would be floating in the harbor this morning if you hadn't have been so enthralled with the creatures we let loose. The fighting, we've got a lot of it ahead of us. But I promise, for my part, we will make sure it's against those that would hurt us and not amongst us. There were things about the dock last night that made it especially frightening when the vindictive went up. Alma couldn't have known. You couldn't have known, and I should have known better than bringing a fight to the docks and thinking it would have ended any other way. But we will get through this. We will pull back together. We'll be ready when Alma joins us again, and we'll be a family again.
I mean, we are a family. We are a family, Lunas. We're a family of heroes. Squeeze.
Just leans into the hug.
I mean, does your family not fight?
Not really, no.
Oh. Well, that was kind of all my family did. And I realized very young that families will fight. That's just gonna happen. What matters is how you fix it.
Yes. We're a family.
Not only that, we're a family that, it seems, just ran across one more orphan. What we found on the ship. There's a reason it was there. Someone, and I worry that someone in particular, had a plan for it. One thing we can say about the incident is that it was completely unexpected for a certain red someone. That definitely did not go according to their plan. And now, this orphan is outside of their reach. I can't tell you how rare that is, how fortunate we are to have found ourselves in this kind of accident where something that would have been guarded fiercely has landed out of the reach of someone who would raise this orphan in a house of hate. We can't let that happen. We can't let them go back. What we found on that ship, it's our duty to protect. It's our duty to make sure that they end up safe. Now, Glory and I had a brief talk this morning, and that safe place isn't with us. But we have to make sure they get somewhere safe. So, the certain someone, how's the common room looking right now? Should I be too paranoid about?
Yeah, I'm actually about to cast message at you, Robin, and just be like, can we not talk about this here?
There are a couple of people in the common room. They're fairly distant. They're down by the windows and having breakfast. Nobody is anywhere particularly close to you, so the only person that could really overhear you would be Helwis over at the map. That said, it is not an empty common room. So,
fair enough. Robin, in turn, casts message to each of the members of the party and says, for each of them, the code for the Empress of the Bloody Change is Olivia. That's the name we'll call her. And then resumes talking to everyone. Olivia will be searching the city for the child. She'll know that what happened at the docks was how she lost them. She'll be searching, and if she starts searching here, that's just more danger for our city. That's more of her minions flooding the streets, and it would be best for all of us if she thought the egg had left and fled. So I say we leave. We make a show of it. We check out the docks today. We have to see what's there. We can't not be there for our city right now. But once we know what the situation is, I say we leave. We leave Dawn's Harbor. We go somewhere where we can find out more about how we can protect the child and guard against Olivia. However, while we want the appearance that we're fleeing with the child, better that the child doesn't go with us. Now, I know that all of you only just met Tish. But I've trusted Tish with my life on more than one occasion, and it's never failed me yet.
Can I look over at Tish and just eye her up and down? I would like to insight Tish.
okay. Are you looking for her mood? Her, insight isn't a read character spell so much as...
More of just does she, what kind of vibe am I getting? She looks shifty.
It's time for a Tish vibe check.
Okay, Tish vibe check.
Robin already took care of that. Ayo!
I know exactly how I need to convince Sobis. And I am very excited for this moment.
Ooh, 11.
11.
So with an 11, Tish is probably not the easiest person in the world to read under the ideal circumstances. And these are not the ideal circumstances. You're tired, you're stressed, there's so much chaos going on everywhere around. But the read that you were getting at that basic level is a quiet confidence in what she's doing and what they're up to and where they are and why they're there. It's not easy to tell whether that's confidence that's due to ill plans or good intentions or what, but it's confident.
Yeah, all right.
Would my passive insight of a 15 pick up Sobus
Oh, you
eyeing?
You just look over and I'm just
Sobus is like almost sniffing you. Like, it's not, subtlety is not really the word we're looking for here. So yeah, you absolutely tell that Sobus is giving you that sort of look.
Yeah, it's real obvious.
Sobus,
Yeah.
are you all right?
Yeah. I don't have the best experiences with new people outside of this family, and you seem trustworthy so far, but I've been burned before.
I know you are close to Robin.
Yeah.
Robin is our only friend.
Yeah. Sobus looks very confused. I have other friends.
What can we do to convince you?
He still looks very confused. I lean over to Robin. Robin, there's only one of her.
Right, Sobi. And Tish, she means well. But if I'm her only friend, don't you think she deserves another?
Yeah. Sort of like lets out a
Sobus,
yeah.
are you worried about our physical capability of protection?
Yeah, I mean a little. You're what does Robin call it? Vertically challenged.
Trinket,
What?
I know what you're going to do, so just go ahead and do it.
Sobus.
What's happening?
Sobus,
Yeah.
would you like us to prove how capable?
Sure. What
Tish.
are we going to do?
Tish leans forward on the table, puts her elbow on the table.
Robin scoots back.
Yeah, all right. What the hell? Robin,
I'm gonna
don't be
scoop
mad
up
if
my
she-
wine and like scoot back as well.
Robin, don't be mad if she only has one arm after this. And I'll put my arm up.
Oh, Sobi, don't be mad at me.
And I will rage. As I just exhale and sparks just swirl around my snout.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and burn a rage.
It's amazing.
All right, so let's get some opposed strength checks going here.
All right.
Yep.
Like, just straight strength?
First, we're going to do straight strength, and
Okay.
we'll do first to 3 victories over the other.
All right.
I'm gonna lean over to Robin and whisper to him, like, I know better than to bet against Sobus. I will bet you a gold that Sobus wins.
Not a strength save, just a strength check.
I'll take that.
Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I was like, how is that so high?
Yeah.
Oop, hold on. I don't
There it
have
is.
I don't have my Beyond 20 turned on. Give me a second.
Oh, man.
What'd
Much worse.
What did you
So
roll?
15 for Sobus's first go.
Okay. mine. Hold on. Ah! Ah!
I'm so sad.
I mean, that's literally an average roll. Though.
Yeah. Sobus is still waking up. He's full.
See, here I figured you guys would go into the sparring ring, but no, you're gonna make it more interesting.
Well, I mean, I would have. But this is fine too.
Okay. Hold on. Might
What
be
did
on
I
20.
just say? No more fighting.
Lumines,
Okay.
this is
This isn't fighting.
arm
This isn't
wrestling?
fighting.
Oh, this is Robo, not Williams.
Yeah.
All right, well, Sobus gets the advantage on the first one.
Okay.
little lean.
There's a bit of lean there.
All right.
Tish's arm even shakes just a little bit, like this was obviously more than what was expected. Maybe it's the rage. Who knows?
Maybe.
All right, let's do number 2.
Please, please, please.
Whoa.
Oof.
Woof.
Oof.
Travis really wants this.
This is not going as well as I thought.
Well, if it was best out of 3,
First to 3 wins.
first to 3 wins. Ooh.
All right.
For the audience, that's a 7 or an 11 on Tish and a 22 on Sobus. So we got 2 for Sobus here.
I feel like
Does the nat one actually do anything?
It
From the
did
last
stuff descriptively, but not mechanical.
Okay. Just curious.
I'm busting out the good dice.
Real dice, yep.
All right. Damn it.
Are we doing number 3?
Yep, number 3.
All right. Oh. It's a
Mine's
13.
a 15.
Dang
All right.
it.
All right. Tish starts to tilt the arms backwards.
And Sobus is just like, just like strains a little extra hard.
Sudden surprise at the small tiefling.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am
21.
all that is confusion.
For the next one.
Come on.
Are we gonna go for a 2 for 2?
Oh!
God. It's an
And an
8.
8.
Oh, it all comes down to the last roll.
Yep. Both arms straining against each other.
Are we 2-2 right now?
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Oh
We
my
are.
God. Please.
This is the best match.
Roll 20. I've never wanted anything more in my life. Please.
Robin looks at Gloriosa, raises his eyebrows, and shrugs like,
All right, here we go.
16.
10.
"Damn!"
And Tish manages to just tilt it all the way back. And Sobus's hand just touches the table.
Oh. I look at my arm and just like start inspecting it. Like, is this really my arm? Did this just happen?
I'm gonna just sort of like under the table, just like put a coin into Robin's hand. I
Sobus.
can't believe you bet against Sobus. Like
Sobus.
quietly, like not where they.
I was about to say, can I hear this?
No, God.
I slide a cookie to Silvis and Fish.
As soon as it gets within arm's reach, it's gone.
Sobus, you are a very worthy adversary.
Yeah. I just ate. Let me. We'll do it again, but well done.
It is all right, Sobus. We are stronger than we look.
You are very strong.
Apparently, and I just
Yes.
kind of
Roll that
work out
wrist
my
around,
arm a
buddy.
little bit.
Work that
Yep.
out. Anybody else need?
Sobus?
Anybody else need convincing? Thought not. So, I suggest we leave town publicly, with public knowledge of our destination. Make it easy that we could be followed, and if there's some way to draw eyes away from Dawn's Harbor, let's do it. However, I say the child goes with Tish. Where? I think it's better that we don't know. Tish will find a way to keep moving, stay out of range of detection, and periodically, they know how to get some sending to us if they need to. Meanwhile, well, I have a recommendation on our destination, but that can wait till later.
So I have a doubt.
By all means.
Well, maybe less of a doubt, but more of a confusion. Tish, aren't you supposed to be watching Alma?
Yes, Alma will go with us. We will stay here in Dawn's Harbor until Alma is ready to join you. We will accompany Alma to you, and we will make plans from there.
It's at this point that you hear Sobus go, "Oh, we means you." Got it.
There you go, Sobi. There you are.
Big brain.
So Alma's kind of recognizable.
True.
And I'm not clear on how. I guess I'm not clear on how you're going to stay with Alma, but also hidden with the you know what.
Alma,
We do not need to remain hidden. The information is what needs to remain hidden. The child does not exist.
I doubt the queens will keep Alma long. And for that time, when Alma can't be in our sight, with us, and our protection, Tish will keep Alma in their sight. Now, the trade-off here is, in return for taking care of the child and safeguarding them for us, we will keep our eyes on Alma so that Tish can have her information and fulfill their mission as well.
That sounds equitable.
Be careful, Tish.
We will. Plans and orders have changed. We may have been assigned one thing, but the child is the most important thing at this point.
In the meantime,
Protecting the child is the most important thing. And no one outside of this group should know of its existence.
and that, I'll emphasize, includes the throne. I know we are in the employ of the Royal House of Dawn's Harbor, but we don't know how far Olivia's reach has gotten. We don't know who in the court could be reporting to Olivia. We can't assume this knowledge is safe even with the royals. So, no, I vote we do not let the queens know of the child. we make a different excuse for our exit from the city. We make a different excuse for our lead. But who knows that Olivia doesn't have spies in the court. So the queens can't know of the plan from here on out. There will be one plan that we tell the queens and another that we execute.
Until last night, no one knew this even existed. It was just a rumor. That's why we were sent. We were sent to see if the rumor was true. No one expected it to be true. Because
I mean, someone knew. Someone put it on that ship.
And that's the person who needs to not know where it's going. So if they hear anything about our plans other than that we are the obvious agents of the Queen who are openly leaving town, they might put more together. But if they assume it's with us and follow, then maybe that's just exactly what we need.
Well, it sounds like we're all in agreement then.
Of course. I don't think we should waste any more time getting to the harbor. I for one am anxious. Gloriosa, I know you're anxious to see home as well.
And I need to work off my breakfast.
Fair enough.
Let's go.
To the docks.
So we're headed to the docks to help clean up, though, right?
Yes.
And while we're there,
Help out.
Help out, clean up, investigate everything. If you can question anyone and get more information about what's happening and who's come sniffing around in our wake, without gathering too much attention, please learn what you can. Everyone.
I'll just strike up a conversation with everybody. I mean, I need to check in on all my gossip anyway.
Of course.
I will put my detective hat on.
Ow!
Is that Sovis or Nate? I think that's Nate.
That is so in character. That's gotta be in character.
Yep. Sobus turns around and stubs his toe. Ow.
It's not been Sobus this morning.
Not this morning.
I can help out, but yes, let's go. And before we go out, I'll just turn to Tish and you can count me as a friend too.
So I suppose we all head out the door together after giving Helwis our thanks, and as we go down the street, heading towards the docks, Robin seems a little bit more focused, more tense, less
Jovial.
less jovial, as he's humming the same tune that you heard him play at the docks. He's making his way down the street, just leave her, Johnny, leave her.
So, am I the only one that totally pictures Sobis and Tish trying to go through the door at once and like having to work out who goes through first because of the whole morning?
Absolutely. 100%.
Just gonna wait for them to go through and kind of pat Luna's like on the shoulders again as I'm following down.
Once everyone has made it out of the Cross Tees and is headed through the streets, there's a somewhat somber mood through the city. There's not quite as much dour and dire feeling as one might expect, but there are small complaints in the higher rent districts as you guys pass through first. The area around the pie shop, there's some grumbling because the lines are longer and there are outages. The warehouses that were destroyed factored into a lot in the city, and most of it was stuff that moves through it, whether that's food, trade goods, and the like. There was a lot that the city relied on, and that's all, at the very least, disrupted temporarily, as everyone is still taking stock of exactly what happened down at the docks. As your steps get you closer to the affected area and to the docks themselves, there's actually a lightening of a mood as you get closer, as it isn't hard to hear as you walk through that gods be praised, but there was only one casualty. With all of that destruction, all of the things that were destroyed, all of the goods lost, only one person got hurt. Nobody killed. It could have been way, way worse.
Ooh, so as we're walking through and hearing all this information, Robin seems to be very pointedly walking towards a specific spot on the dock. When they pull up to the warehouse that I'm sure still has half of the vindictive sticking out of it, unless they probably, I'm assuming they're still in the process of tying ropes to try to
that
help.
Warehouse is more vindictive than warehouse at the moment. The vindictive is by far the most stable structure in that half city block of that warehouse. The ceiling has completely collapsed in. Two of the walls are so destroyed that they no longer could hold anything in or out. The rear wall and the northern facing wall are both just collapsed in. There's a ship-sized hole in the front of the warehouse, but that seems to have held up relatively well. Other than that, it looks like it got most of the doorway, so it wasn't weight-carrying beams that were taken out so much as just the center of it. Inside the warehouse, it is just absolutely chaos. There are broken crates and goods spilled all over the floor that are being cleaned up. A lot of the scaffolding and ladders that ran around to access some of the things that were stacked higher have all collapsed, as it looks like grape shot went off inside the warehouse, and smaller pellets of lead and metal sort of bounced around on the inside and just destroyed almost anything smaller than a large crate of goods. There are lots of workers in the area that are working to clean it up. Rope and pulleys have been brought in to try and get the ship up and off the crates that it has landed on so that it can go. There's at least one foreman looking there and patting a claw hammer going, we're just going to have to dismantle the whole damn thing inside the warehouse. I don't think that it's going to come back out. I ain't seen anything that big come out of something that small since my wife gave birth.
Right.
Love it. Well, Robin turns back to the team. This particular warehouse, it's mostly a gem dealer, mining shipments and operations, other goods as well, of course, whatever will make coin, but mostly gems. Guard might need a hand making sure that none of the goods get lifted in the chaos. So, say we spread out, see what we can put together from the wreckage here, and be on your guard for anyone who seems to be sniffing around a lot. Remember, this is the last known location of Olivia's treasure. And Robin will turn around and look for the man in charge or woman in charge, the person who is most in charge of this warehouse's operations at the moment.
Give me an insight check.
Very well, I will.
While he's doing that, Gloriosa is going to find there's bound to be like a pack of 10-year-olds or something running around like trying to help out. That's where she's going for. She's going for the kids that are like doing small errands, and I'm trying to find out who they're getting their errands from. And
okay.
Whatnot.
And then Robin rolled a 22, so being very familiar with this particular warehouse, he apparently knows how to find the boss.
So Robin sees that there is what look to be 4 or 5 obvious dockmasters that are sort of standing around, and they seem to be almost kvetching amongst themselves about how they would be doing this differently. They all seem to have a better plan for how to fix this, and that if only somebody would just listen to them, they would get it all taken care of. And it seems pretty obvious that the reason that they're all sort of standing around and doing this is that the warehouse master of this particular warehouse looks new. They are a tall Goliath. They are big and broad-shouldered, but they do not look like this is the job that they have been holding for a very long time. There's a lot of uncertainty. This is not a thing that they were expecting to have to deal with on the job at this point. So there's a fair bit of more veteran dock workers sort of like, well, look at them screwing this up. That said, as you have been around the docks for as long as you have, it's not hard to tell that the Goliath is doing all of the things you'd probably do, all of the things that is right and reasonable to do. This is just one of those situations where there's not a ton of great options.
Then Robin will walk up to the Goliath and terrible morning to meet, but we don't have another choice, do we? Robin Wayfair, you must be Shafsika's?
Yes. Wayfair, Robin, I'm sorry. Are you part of the... It's been a hell of a morning. Are you part of the cleanup crew? I'm all over the place today. I apologize.
We're contractors for the crown, let's say that. And yes, we are here to see about the cleanup and the recovery. I wanted to know, how are your people? How did they fare last night? Was your warehouse staffed?
We keep one person on staff overnight every night just to make sure that nothing walks out the door. Most of the ore is too heavy to really carry in quantities that makes it worth taking, but every now and again we'll get rough gemstones or something else in that somebody could pocket, so just having somebody there helps. We're trying to track down exactly who it was. They were taken to the temple last night by a kind citizen who realized that they were hurt. It was supposed to be Martin's shift, but apparently he traded with a buddy of his, and we haven't been able to get Martin awake. We haven't found him yet. Maybe he went off drinking, I don't know. He may be worried that he's going to be in trouble for having switched, but we haven't found him yet to find out who he switched with. So we're doing a manual head count through everybody to figure out who was in the warehouse last night. The temple had a number of people go in last night. Apparently there was a brawl in one of the upper districts. Some noble rich merchant's kid decided that he deserved more than what his paramour wanted to give him, and it turned into a whole thing with the two of them fighting in the street, and then families and friends getting involved, and so the temple was kind of swamped with people. they didn't have a name of anyone specifically brought in last night because somebody was given a large sack of coin to forget everybody's name who came in last night so that nobody would get in trouble for a brawl.
Of course. Makes sense. You seem new. First day on the job?
Third.
My sympathies. So you mentioned a Martin. Could I have the full name of the worker? I might be able to help you work out your missing person if I can find this man.
Yes, I should be able to. I apologize. Let me grab my ledger real fast. I'm still learning everybody's name. And they start paging through like a list, and you can see like there are names that have been checked off and scratched through, and there are names that are still like question marks next to them. And they're flipping through these pages trying to scramble for it. It's pretty easy to tell that the ledger is set up as a list of who's in order of who's supposed to go and be the night watchman, so to speak. Martin Docker was supposed to be in last night, but he traded with somebody. We're not sure who. It's not uncommon, and it's not even a problem. It's just we're trying to figure out who's hurt so that we can let the family know so that everyone can stop worrying.
Of course. By all means, I'll ask around. I'll find this Docker's house. We'll see if we can find out where he is and what friend we need to send for. But thank you. And you were?
I'm stressed. I'm sorry. My name is I can remember my name. I absolutely can.
It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I took this job because it was supposed to be easier than being out in the ore and looking for everything and doing all of that. And instead I'm here and they're like, oh, it's just going to be, it's only just a whole lot of sitting and watching over stuff. You don't have to do anything. I'm Tarple. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Wayfarer.
And a pleasure to meet you as well, Tarple. Maybe cross paths on a better day.
Sure. Find me at the bar and I'll buy you a drink.
Of course. Anyways, we'll be back to the cleanup. My team will do whatever you need to help out. And then Robin, smile fading, finds Gloriosa among the children.
Lunas is going to approach this person and offer them a cookie. Like, you're doing your best.
We'll take the cookie really absent-mindedly with a thanks. Before turning back. Gloriosa, meanwhile, is
completely sidetracked.
Yes, is sidetracked, but among children, these seem to, however, be more the children that we're watching because look at all of the big stuff happening rather than the ones that are running a whole lot of errands. But they're interested to meet, honest to goodness adventurers and heroes. And, these are ambassadors for the queens.
I rolled a 1 on my insight check.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So since you're rolling a 1 on your insight check, you probably don't see Robin walking up, and so Robin just kind of gives you a...
I am too busy telling these kids the story of how we saved a purple-haired beauty from like a horrible wagon where she was tied up, and there was this guy and these other guys, and they were taking her somewhere, and she didn't
Glory.
Go.
Sorry. Not to interrupt your lovely tale you're weaving there, but very quick. We might need to stay. We might need to go to the temple later. They've taken the injured warehouse worker. However, they've not identified. They've not nailed down his identity yet. It seems that a Martin Docker was scheduled to work last night. Now, Martin may have switched out his shift with a friend. That's what the word is, but they also haven't seen Martin this morning. So, Gloria, you're in
right now.
What's up?
I'll go check on that right now if you want.
Gloria, I'll go on this one. Check. You stay with the team. You're officially in charge. Don't worry. I'm not the man I used to be anyways, so should be fine.
Are you sure?
Stay with the team. Do what you can here. All of you. I'll be back to you fast. After all, Docker's home is nearby. I'll race back if we need to head to the temple.
Okay.
Robin
All right.
turns.
Are you? You're sure though? Are you sure?
It's overdue. Robin turns and walks away.
Okay. Hey, Sobis. Can you help them? I think there's a lifting thing going on over there.
I am literally in the middle of just lifting heavy things.
Okay. But I'm in charge, so I am totally like, okay, good job, Sobis. Good job.
And Lunas is helping out, mending and prestidigitate all whatever he can help at.
What is Tish up to as the efforts are underway?
Tish is stealthing around and just investigating things.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Do I also need to give you a stealth check?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, 15 on the stealth check.
That's reasonable.
And then perception or investigation?
Give me investigation.
Okay. 16 on investigation.
Okay. So, as you are moving around the dockside and keeping an eye on everything that's going on, you notice a young human woman that is doing much the same thing you are. Trying to be sneaky, trying to stay out of sight, and keeping an eye on things. And both of you kind of notice each other at roughly the same time and have that moment across a bunch of workers of catching each other's eyes.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. The person that you see, her surface thoughts are extremely orderly. This is someone who is a meticulously organized, logical sort of individual. And right now, you can see almost a ledger of all of the goods that were damaged in the main warehouse, all of the goods that are still intact, how many dock workers are involved, what kind of hours they've put in so far. And she's basically just meticulously enumerating everything that is going on at this point until her eyes catch you. And the ledger sort of sets itself to the side in her mind, and your image pops up with a, who is that?
But she doesn't recognize me?
She does not recognize you. She recognizes that you're doing much the same thing, but does not know who you are.
But But she doesn't seem like she's doing anything, like, nefarious.
She doesn't seem to be doing anything nefarious.
Okay.
She is the sort of ledger that she's sort of mentally putting together is the kind of thing an insurance agent might want to keep track of that sort of thing. At the same time, she's also trying to be sneaky about it. So she's obviously not 100% on the up and up.
Tish,
Meanwhile, go ahead.
Tish will take a few steps towards her to see if she is allowed to approach, or if this woman starts to move away.
The woman doesn't move away. You do notice that she has just a simple dagger at her hip. She doesn't have anything more weaponry than that. But as you start to approach, her countenance shifts from, I'm trying not to be noticed, I'm trying to be sneaky, to, all right, well, I guess we're going to go say hello then. And she'll walk over. She's wearing simple clothes, a tunic and leggings, with a leather waist cincher around it. Her pants are up around her knees. She seems to be a local dock person by the look of her clothing. And her dark hair is tied up into a bun behind her head so that it's out of the way. She'll step forward and extend a hand. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that there was another person here. Are you also from
There are
the...
lots of people here.
Well, yes, but are you also from the firm?
No.
Oh. It looked like you were doing the same sort of thing I am. I'm sorry. I'm Ainsley. Ainsley, nice to meet you.
We are Tish.
So if you're not tracking for insurance purposes, what are you looking for?
We are part of the cleanup crew. And we are here with our compatriots who are, if we recall correctly, ambassadors of the Queens.
Oh, you're from the palace. Oh, well, that explains a lot.
I have never been to the palace.
But you're working for them.
I am not.
But your friends are?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I think I followed that train. Well, if your friends need any help, please feel free to send them my way. I've been keeping track of everything that's in the warehouse. It looks like, luckily, most of what was destroyed was the cheaper ores and not anything as far as anything more specifically valuable than that. But we'll see what happens.
Have you found
company...
anything unusual in the wreckage?
Well, I think the most unusual thing that we found in the wreckage as far as actual items was a small locket. I think it was probably the night watchman's that fell when it was here, but there's no engraving, there's no identifying markings. It's just a small silver amulet of the healing god. Nothing more specific than that. Made of fairly cheap silver, all things considered. It's probably maybe worth a couple of coins.
Do you know where this locket has gone?
She reaches into a pocket and holds it out.
May we take this with us?
Sure.
Thank you. My compatriots will want to see this.
Of course. Other than that, I'm just trying to make sure I can keep track of everything, and when the report comes in for damages due to pirates, it's almost certainly what this will be classified as.
Is that what you believe happened?
Well, it's pretty obvious the powder magazine blew. The only reason I can think of why pirates' ships' magazine blows like that would be somebody was smoking and wasn't paying attention and dropped their cigarette where they shouldn't have.
Yep.
I mean,
That sounds very reasonable and like a very logical explanation.
That's an excellent explanation.
I mean, there were no reports of anything else happening on the docks last night. You don't look for zebras when it could be horses.
Was this ship classified as a pirate ship?
Technically, they are a freelance sailing ship that does merchanting work in the Dragon Isles. But they trade in goods that are not always necessarily strictly logged and recorded and legal. And so we kind of classify them in the same sort of category. They're not technically pirates. I've never seen the Vindictive actually board a ship and steal things, but they have very few qualms about carrying contraband or anything else that might pay well. The captain was talking, apparently, in the last few days about some big score he was taking back to the island, and taking it back west, he managed to set up some kind of bidding war between the Empress and the Siren. So I don't know if maybe somebody figured out that there was something going on or if it was just a crewmate, but some accident happened and the ship blew up. And my guess is that whatever treasure it wasn't that locket.
And where is this captain now?
He wasn't found. I think he was probably on the ship. The Vindictive's captain's quarters were up front. That part got blown into the bay. It's entirely possible that he drowned in his sleep.
That is very unfortunate.
And as much as I'm sure that the queens would love to be able to find the body so that the queen consort can wake him up and talk to him, I don't know that you're ever going to find all of it in the bottom of the bay.
That is a very sad way to die.
Well, live by the illegal activities, die by the illegal activities, I guess.
Thank you for everything you have shared. If you find out anything else, please come find myself or one of my compatriots.
Sure. I mean, at the moment, I'm just mostly tallying up what's there and what isn't. All of my investigating was earlier this morning and talking to folks on the docks.
Did any of the people that you talked to on the docks have anything useful?
I mean, he was carrying some treasure, trying to get multiple groups to bid on it out west, and nobody that I talked to had seen anything unusual last night. At least up until the Vindictive split itself in half.
So if you have not found anything that could be classified as treasure, or anything that this captain might have been talking about, are we sure there was anything at all? Or was he possibly talking I believe the term is a big game?
It's certainly possible he was talking a big game. These captains do tend to brag, but I don't know. It's possible there wasn't anything there. It's possible it was blown out to sea. I don't know that we're ever going to find it, whether it was ever a real thing or not. So I don't know that it really matters.
Well, if what you have heard is true, and that captain, who unfortunately perished, was trying to make deals with the Empress and such, maybe not finding treasure is for the best, for the well-being of everyone.
Probably. Most times when smugglers like this have treasure, it ends up being something they shouldn't have had in the first place.
Thank you for your time.
Of course.
All of my compatriots are very colorful people, so they shouldn't be hard to find if you need them. One of them is a very large dragonborn, but he's good at lifting things. You can just ask him where someone else is if you come across him.
Okay. She sort of pauses and looks over and kind of points in the direction of where Sobis is hauling 3 men's worth of work on one rope.
Oh, yes, that is him.
Yeah. He is pretty colorful.
Yes, he is. And he is very good at his job.
I can see that.
And if you are hungry, there is a man with cookies, and we highly recommend going to get one.
Cookies, huh?
Yes.
Good to know. I will bear that in mind.
Have a good day.
You too.
And Tish will turn to leave.
Okay.
That was physically painful to watch.
Well,
So what are you doing with the locket? Are you bringing it back to us?
yes.
DM, do I recognize it?
Give me a religion check.
I was about to say Tish will go to the first.
Oh my god. I've never heard of religion in my life.
The ones on this one.
The ones.
Oh, oof.
Just stop asking me for rolls. I'm not doing any more today.
Gloriosa does not recognize the locket.
Pretty certain this is a locket.
She's not that certain.
I think it goes around your neck. Maybe?
I don't know. The chain looks more like it might hold it to like a book. Like it's obviously not jewelry. It's obviously like some kind of decor. Maybe it's a curtain holder, like to hold your curtains back.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now this right here is a dingle hopper.
You want thingamabobs? I got 20.
Lunez, what are you up to?
I am mending a lot of stuff and helping people. If I can, if anybody needs healing, the big pupper is there. Also, I'm mending stuff and just cleaning up with the prestidigitation. Goggles on because I got props now. And yeah, mending, prestidigitation, the whole Lunas experience,
Heyo.
So there aren't any actual injuries. The only injury was taken to the temple last night. So most of it's just cleanup and mending things.
Lunas will remove any splinters that anyone gets.
Yeah, splinters and other minor sorts of injuries. There's at least one guy who does not lift with his legs and lifts with his back, and we know what happens after that. And there are more than a few that come looking for cookies.
Of course, cookies.
Ainsley isn't one of them, but a number of folks by the dockside know full well of Lunez's cookie bag and stop by quietly for, just a little cookie on the way into the shift.
There's plenty of cookies for everyone, so yeah. Here's a cookie for you. You can, with your, not with your back, with your knees. Yes. Okay, cookie. That's all.
I love that the cookies at this point have become as popular as like a food truck.
That'd be
The
cool.
food truck is called the Lunas Experience.
Yeah.
If Lunez ever needs like a second career, he's got it lined up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All he needs is an alchemy jug, and he is set.
Oh, that's
So
With
how much?
milk? Do they make milk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They absolutely, well, they can. They can also make mayonnaise, so,
Maybe not the
choose
mayonnaise
carefully.
or the oil or the salt water, but the milk? Yeah.
So how much of the ship is left embedded in the warehouse once I'm done with it?
At this point, you guys have managed to clear the bulk of the ship out of the warehouse itself. Most of it is now on the dockside, kind of sitting. It's never going to be able to be repaired. It's going to have to be dismantled to be dealt with. But is otherwise taken care of in that regard. So let's turn over to Robin, who is going to check on the dock worker. The housing area of the docks ward is further north. The northern docks are the original where the landing took place when Dawn's Harbor was founded. And further south from there, they've sort of expanded over the years to include more and more space. So all of the housing is considerably far north, probably maybe a 10, almost 15-minute walk north along the docks themselves to get to where housing is. Martin Docker's house is a well-appointed one. It's he's not done poorly for himself. It's not flashy by any stretch of the imagination, but it's quietly well-maintained and bears the sort of hallmarks of someone who is very much taking care of the property that he has. There's a lot of obviously well-done repairs that have been made over the years. And it looks like there's even an attic that has been added on to the top of the house in probably the last decade or so.
So Robin walks up, looks at the house, notes the look of it and everything, and it walks up to the door, just raps on it a few times.
After a long moment, there's a shout from above. Says, "Nobody's home."
From that attic area right there?
Yep.
Pardon, I was looking for the owner of this house. Would you know whereabouts Martin could be found?
Not here. He's definitely not here.
Does Robin recognize this voice?
Yeah.
Martin, we just need to talk, that's all.
He's not here. I told you. He's definitely not here. Have you checked down by the docks?
Well, wouldn't Martin like to know what happened to his friend last night? There was a big accident at the warehouse. We just want to know. We just want to know who Martin switched with. That's all.
Well, I certainly wouldn't know what happened with Auden and why he might have switched with Martin, but Martin's not here. Neither is Auden.
Very well. Robin gives out a big sigh and everything, and okay, well, we'll tell you what. If you happen to run across a Martin, let him know they are looking for him at the docks. His supervisors probably will need a report from him. Seems if it was Auden that he swapped with, then they're at the temple. Sure. And Martin, just don't take so many night shifts. Okay, Martin, just stay home for a while. Could you?
Well, Martin's not here, but I'll give him the message.
Of course. Tell Martin to stay home as much as he can. No overtime for a while, and just just leave it be for a minute. Some of the sailors might have dropped a name. They must have been looking for Martin, but someone was looking for a Sherman moving through town. But you're the only docker left in town, so must have been you. Just know that Sherman made it on its way. Could you tell that to Martin, please?
The voice gets a little quieter, but still is audible from up above. Yeah, I'll make sure Martin finds out about that. But I'll wait until he gets back so that I can tell him in person. I don't think he'd want that written down anywhere.
Sure, of course. Take care of Martin. And he might need a few days off of work. They're rebuilding the office, as it were. Tell Martin to take care.
I'm sure he will.
And y'all thought my conversation was painful.
Robin takes a very deep breath. Walks away, takes one look back to see if he could see anything stirring in the house or anyone investigating in his wake. And
there's someone at the window of the attic up at the top that is watching you go.
So Robin gives them a wave, a little smile, and goes back on his way.
All right, and I think that is as good a spot as any to take our slightly delayed but inevitable break. It is currently 12:43 on the East Coast, so let's shoot to be here by 1 p.m. Stick with us, folks. We've got lots more in store. welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us over the break. Give yourself credit for that little short rest. The first half of the game was a little heavier, I think, than even I expected, I must admit. But certainly interesting as the group went and investigated through the docks to see what all was going on and who all had made it and who didn't. We saw Robin check on the dock worker that had been potentially injured. We saw Gloriosa try to find some information along the dockside. Lunez and Sobis helping out. Tish meeting a new person and finding out some information. A very busy first half, to say the least. I can't imagine the second half is going to be that much quieter, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and reopen our scene on Robin coming back from his errand and being back. At this point, the warehouse is empty of the vindictive, and there is a fair bit of tallies being taken of what's still there, what's destroyed, what has made it, and that sort of thing. And otherwise, the docks are slowly but surely coming back to as normal as the docks ever are.
All right. Well, Robin comes from the the housing sector of the docks. Walks up first. Walks up to Gloriosa and says, checked on Martin. Seems to be doing fine. Just as well as Martin can. In any case, Tarple, where's he gone then?
Tarple is still working with the dock workers and making sure that things get taken care of. They seem to have moved inside the building and are checking off more people as they come through and what all is available in the warehouse still, what's going to have to get moved, that sort of thing.
I'm going to show Robin the locket, too, and be like, hey, do you recognize this? Because they're still trying to find the family.
So that's going to be a religion check on Robin?
Yep.
All right. Now, got a 12.
It is a locket that is given to adherents of the god of healing, an aspect of Otrix. It appears to be a very simple sort of, this is the locket that everyone who swears to the church gets. There doesn't appear to be any unique markings on it.
Do I know that if it has any significance for rituals or anything, or is it just more like a, just a symbol that the adherents would wear?
It's more of a symbol. A cleric could certainly use it as a holy symbol and use it as a spell focus, but it wouldn't have any significance outside the hands of that cleeric.
Got it.
So is it like kind of like a Star of David or like a crucifix or something?
Very much like that.
So Robin looks at it and, that seems like one of those symbols followers of Otrix like to wear, especially the ones that favor healing. I've seen a cleric or two carry it, but for all I know, someone was just crying out to their god in the midst of the chaos. Might have dropped the necklace. Well, where was it found again?
In the where they think it's from the person that got injured last night, so they're still trying to figure out who. If everything's okay with Martin, did he tell you?
Apparently, didn't officially find this Martin fellow. However, I got the name of someone who might have been the shift swapper. So, Tarple, A moment, if you don't mind. Robin's trying
Carpal pauses and waves Robin over. Yeah, come on. What's up?
You might want to check on the family of Auden, if you, and see if Auden has reported in yet.
They have not.
Okay. Didn't quite find Martin in my search, but picked up some talk that he and Auden had been talking. So
We found this. Here.
That's odd. Is that it's an amulet of Otrix?
what it looked like to me.
I don't know of any adherents among my staff. Do you think it might have been from the person that found Auden? If we think it's Auden that was in there last night?
Oh, that would make
Somebody
sense.
took them to the temple.
Could have been. Yeah, you know what? That might be right. You and your men, you have things in hand here? Anything else that we could do to be of service?
Your friend Sobis has a drink at any bar I'll ever be to. He's been tremendously helpful, and Lunez has managed to keep spirits up in ways that I wouldn't have thought possible without liquor.
He's really good at that. They're both really good at that.
We'll tell you what. Any shipments you need guarded next time we're back around the docks, let us know. You could thank us with work. Best way to support your local heroes.
I'm sure we can manage that.
You are feeling better, Robin.
It's time to get back to business, Glory. So, seems that the next thing we need to look out for is we've picked up someone's necklace. It seems to have dropped it, and there seems to be someone who was very close to the warehouse when the accident happened in order to take poor Auden off to the temple. So, let's say we look for some answers there. About how far would the temple be from us?
The temple is maybe 20 minutes walk. It's in roughly the center of the city.
Okay, very good. Then I suggest we head to the temple. This person was close enough to see Auden. Maybe they were close enough to see something else, and we might need to know about that.
While Lunas is helping out with the mending and all that, cleaning up, he's also... Well, he's going to take a look if he sees any trace of his bullet friend or his unicorn friend.
The bullet is not particularly easy to find. There's no tracks or anything that come up that way. The unicorn is definitely not anywhere around the dockside. Lunas would know that as far as the unicorn is concerned, it's going to stay away from people for a while because that's how it got in trouble in the first place.
Okay.
Do any of us know that he just did that look around or searching?
Give me an insight check.
All right, very good.
I mean, yeah, you could probably see that he's looking over the water. Or...
Oh, yeah. So Robin picked up on that. 23. Lunez, I'm sure that our animal friends got to safety, but you know unicorns. They only are found when they want to be found, especially after something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I just wanted to make sure that they were all right.
I know, buddy. It'll be okay. But you know what? They seem to like you a whole lot. They'll probably want to be found sometime soon.
That would be nice. So where are we going now?
I suggest the temple, personally. Tish, Sobish, Gloriosa, Luna, did anyone else find anything else of note that anywhere else we should be looking at the moment?
I found a splinter in my claw.
Oh, let me take care of that. Stay still. Stay still.
Ow.
Ah, sorry. Tiny pupper. Heal wounds. Cure wounds, I mean.
All right. So it's a roughly 2 miles from the coast to the temple itself. The temple is in the center of town and is a beautiful building made largely of wood from, again, the original ship, as well as stained glass. Yes, Tish.
Before we leave the dock area, sorry, I tried to say it a second ago, but I was muted. So before we leave the docks, Tish will turn to Robin and say, what we found was information, but we should not share it here.
Fair enough, Tish.
And so as soon as we move away from the docks and we're kind of in a place where we can just like walk and talk or like stand off to the side in like an alleyway or something like that, Tish,
I suppose we could trail behind and Robin will cast message. He'll just cast message at Tish a few paces behind the rest of the party, and no one can hear us now. What'd you find?
do you not want your friends to hear this information?
Oh, well, I thought privacy was the question. Is it something you'd like to share with the rest?
It is important information.
Very good. Then we'll bring them all in. Then Robin, Glory, Luna, Sobi, we might need a huddle for a moment. Tish says she found something.
Yeah, all right.
What did you find?
So the locket that we procured, we found from a woman who worked for a firm. We don't know what firm that was, but she was walking around and checking things out and inspecting things and had found the locket and gave it to us. And we continued to ask her questions, and she was very forthcoming. Said that she had talked to a lot of people on the docks about what could have been on the ship, what the captain could have been up to, and apparently the captain was not so subtle about the fact that he had something special. As far as we can tell, he did not tell anyone what it was, but we don't know that for sure. But the information that Ansley procured was he was going around saying that he was going to make... Strike, did you say he was going to make a deal with the Empress and the Siren?
He was making a bidding war.
Oh,
he had
okay.
offered it to both of them to see who was going to pay the most.
And do we know who the Siren is? Is she one of the other sisters?
The Siren is another one of the sisters.
Okay.
She is the blue dragon.
Got it. That he was very, very much setting up a bidding war between the Empress and the Siren.
Ah, I see. Okay, so...
There's been nothing else found in the wreckage. They are not confident that they could even find the captain in the bay.
Huh. Well, if I remember correctly, you're the one that dispatched of him, Trinket.
That is true. But if they were to find him, they could ask him questions. But they are not confident that they could find him. Or that they could even find anything else from the other half of the boat.
How well did you slice and dice our captain friend?
Very, very precisely.
Might make resurrection difficult, even if they do find him. But we can't really control that part.
You don't have to have resurrection. You just have to have a head and cast Speak with Dead.
Of course.
And
Well
people
then.
do that?
What was that, Lunas?
Can people do that?
Yes.
Is
It's-
that creepy to anyone else?
It's not pretty, but trust me.
No, I'm pretty sure that's creepy
Yeah,
and gross.
especially when you're dealing with political intrigue, they will do most anything to make sure the dead men still can tell tales. But
I'm gonna forget that you said that. I'm forgetting it right now.
fair, but that's not the idea of whether they'll be able to get anything out of the captain's corpse is something that we can't.
If they
admit
even find his
now,
corpse.
anyways. If they can find the corpse, it's the only way
They
to.
don't seem confident about going into the bay and swimming for it.
Well, neither will we, frankly. But in any case, it seems that word is about that he did have a treasure bound for the sisters.
But
So
as they have not found anything in the wreckage, no one is sure if there was actually any treasure or if this captain was running his mouth.
Yes, but safe to say the sisters knew there was something there. I wouldn't. We might be able to convince most people that he was bluffing, but that bluff won't fool the sisters into coming after what was on that boat. If he was starting a bidding war, I'm sure he would have advertised it in advance, what he had. And if he had done that, they would have known he wouldn't bluff and come to their doorstep. So, opportunity! Here's what's happening. Everyone knows that something was going to the sisters. No one knows what, but it was on that ship. We just make up a different treasure. Say we've got it, and that we're taking it to... Who would know dragons? We take it to the chancel.
Chancel.
The chancel of the guarded ward. Or chancel of the warded boundary. There we go. That's the one. The chancel of the warded boundary. Of course, there's plenty of clerics and priests of all those draconic gods and goddesses alike out there, and they have an alliance with the queens currently. So, there was a treasure. We know not what. Possibly a relic. Seems draconic. And that's where we go. We take the relic to the chancel to find out more answers. Now, conveniently, the chancel will have answers to our questions, but if we say it's a draconic relic, well, that keeps the truth out of the ears of the public and out of the mouths of the public, but it might draw the eye of the sisters towards us and away from Dawn's Harbor. Added bonus, there'd be no safer place for us to flee than the chancel. Meanwhile, the actual treasure will be flung far away.
Robin,
Trinket?
but if you believe that this captain who is setting up a bidding war would have created a more useful bidding war by letting the sisters know what he had, then they already know what was on the ship.
Of course they do. Which is why when they hear that a relic is being carried to the chancel, they'll know, or they'll believe, that we have what was actually on the ship. And if they're looking at us, they're not looking at Dawn's Harbor, and they're not looking at you.
But what about the safety of the chancel?
Now, it might take the sisters themselves to break the warded boundary, and I seriously doubt that they're ready to show up in person just yet. Their minions, maybe. We'll stay tight on our heels and listen for any comings and goings outside of the boundary, but it's not called the Chancel of the Warded Boundary for nothing.
No matter where we make them think that we're going, it's going to be in danger. So we might as well pick the most secure place that we know of and go there, because at least we can draw the danger to some place that has a chance of fighting it.
And a place that has helpful information for us. Glories knows what's going on here.
Can we trust the chancel?
Well, they have a reputation for knowing all things draconic. They tend to be big fans of our metallic winged beasts of the continent, and they're no fans of the sisters. Added bonus, quite a few dragonborn.
You have my attention.
Well then.
So there's just a bunch of Sobuses walking around in one city?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No.
Not
Nobody is
not
like
completely
you.
like Sobus. Some of them are different colors.
This sounds amazing.
We come in
They are
all
quite
shapes
adorable.
and sizes.
No, I'm in. Let's go right now.
Of course. And
So
I'm
when
sure...
when you get to the chancel and you have announced that you have a dragon relic, and then you show up without a dragon relic, what are you going to do?
Oh, the dragon relic is only for the eyes of the high priests. And once we're in the presence of the high priests, well, let's say I can allow them to detect my thoughts if I need to. And then we'll let them know what we're actually protecting, the fight we're actually fighting, and if anyone is going to throw in with us, it'll be the priests of the chancel.
Well, if you give me a little bit of time, I can make something look like a relic. I mean, it won't... If you look at it too closely, it won't. But I can make a decoy at least.
A good enough smokescreen to get us past the keep, Glory. You never cease to amaze me. Yes, this is what we do.
I don't like the idea of you telling the chancel, the high priest, until we know we can trust them. No one outside of this group should know.
Fair.
It is too
But
precious.
the added benefit, Trinket, is that you're not telling us where you're going. So even when the chancel learns that we are in the business of hiding and protecting a draconic orphan, they won't be able to get it out of us even if they tried, where it's being hidden. That'll be with you, and you alone.
Question?
Yes.
When we need to find you again, Tish, like, how would we, if we don't know where you're going, how do we find you again if we need to?
Well, let's just say that You know how temples and the like offer services for sending? And
like I do with my parents. Okay.
like you do with your parents, absolutely. Well, when the bond between the sender and the recipient is especially strong, you might not always have to know where the recipient is to reach their mind. And
I don't want to know about your especially strong bonds with Tish. Stop there. We're good.
It is okay, Gloriosa. Robin and I are friends.
Do dragon eggs have special powers? I mean, can people actually detect that this is a dragon egg? Like, can we hide? Do they emanate any magical energies when they're just the egg? I mean, egg.
I feel like
Also,
that's a question
are we
for
still on the
Strike.
street?
Yeah, we probably are. Yeah.
we've at least ducked into a corner, I would hope.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys ducked off into an alley where you're not being paid much attention to.
Do any of us know about, the traceability of a dragon egg?
Give me an Arcana check. Let's find out.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Robin rolled a 17. He's studying.
Arcana. Oh, come on, man.
Nope.
Oh, hey.
That's a
Hey.
not natural one for Sobus. That's a
30,
2
20.
minus 1.
13.
Dirty 20.
Same for...
All right, so 2 dirty 20s and a 17 will know that the egg will detect as magical to someone who is using, say, detect magic, but it doesn't emanate in such a manner that if you're not specifically looking for it, that you'll find it.
So it doesn't
Okay.
just automatically scream, I'm a dragon egg.
Right.
Okay.
Now, it's definitely an egg, and it's larger than, say, a chicken egg, but there are lots of creatures that lay eggs that it could be from. You'd have to be familiar with dragons to be able to look at it and go, oh, that's a dragon egg.
Are we talking like ostrich egg size?
Mhm.
Okay.
What color is it?
It's a beigeish mottled brown, and it has flecks of green, almost a neon green through most of it, that marks it as an acidic dragon egg.
Is it scaled?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I need an ostrich eggs and like some camo paint.
Well, okay.
Yeah, all right. And I walk off.
All right. Well, then, very well. Then we should be to the temple, but Tish will know how to keep the egg moving and hopefully keep it from being detected or scryed in any way.
I suggest there's an element that actually conceals magic items, and I forget the name of it, but we saw this in class, and it actually conceals the items from divination. Do I know what that is? Strike.
Sure.
And what is that? Strike.
I was really worried that was going to be your follow-up question.
I think it's lead, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lead,
Yeah, it's
but I
lead.
know if lead is.
It's
actually
a
thing.
thin sheet of lead or 3 feet of wood. A foot of stone, and I want to say like an inch of regular metal.
What about
Mhm.
like a bag of holding?
That would also do because it's not on the same plane anymore.
Oh,
Where can one procure a bag of holding?
Ooh,
The Market District in Dawn's Harbor. There will almost certainly be one for sale there.
very nice. All right. Well, then it seems we have a plan. Then we should.
If only you knew an artificer who could replicate a bag of holding. We didn't
I mean,
have
there's
to buy
also
one.
that.
can you do that?
Tish would not know that you can totally do that, so she would be like, I've heard of bags of holding. Where might I procure one?
Well, how soon are we leaving? Because at the hotel, at the inn, I just need a little time with my tools and whatever backpack you have, and I can. I mean, it would, Robin, you'd have to probably like load your sling with your hands because I can only do so much magic at a time.
That's fine. We'll be fine. I'm good with my hands anyways. We'll make sure that we're all kitted up before we disembark from the city. Don't worry. That's most likely a talk for another dawn. In the meantime.
So that way you're not seen purchasing one just before you're trying to hide.
Exactly.
That is...
You can actually do that, Gloriosa.
Well, if you would let me with your goggles, I could show you some of the stuff that I could do.
Do not touch my goggles, but you can actually do that without my goggles.
I can.
That's amazing. You are amazing.
I love you too, Lunez.
Well, it looks like you two have your homework for the evening. But, on to the temple?
Let's go.
Meanwhile, what must I roll to find ostrich eggs and camo paint?
So ostrich eggs are relatively simple to find on the dockside. There are shops and such that sell all sorts of exotic proteins to a lot of the restaurants in Dawn's Harbor. So large eggs are easy enough to find. When
Okay.
you say camo paint, how do you mean?
Let's see. What would Sobus think good camouflage?
So I probably would have, like, Gloriosa would probably have said in character, like, nature paint or, like, egg paint or some, like, paint.
Nature paint
Ask
or
Miro.
egg paint?
Nature paint or egg paint?
Got it. Okay, so I need green. I know green is nature.
Brown,
Blue.
because brown.
Blue for water. That's nature.
Water is nature, sure.
Yep. Gray.
Gray
Rock
is a
gray.
nature thing,
Yep.
sure.
Rocks are great.
Yep.
Brown.
And a tan, because there's sand. Yep.
Yep, sand is a thing.
Yep. Those are all the.
That's nature. That's
That's
all
nature.
nature.
That is
That's all nature.
all-encompassing nature.
It's all of nature. You're gonna come back. Sobus is gonna come back with, like, an egg and, like, an armful of paint. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
At least he's not going to try and paint it himself.
do we know that?
Oh, just wait.
Arts and crafts, Phobos.
Okay, and for the eggs, unsure what Gloriosa's actual plan is, I will buy 6 of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Ostrich are us.
So you can get the paint and the eggs for about a gold piece all total.
Oh, love it. Love it. Done. I will give him 2 gold.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't know math. And I will waddle my way back. Oh, wait. Oh, they didn't tell me where they were going. I left way before that.
Well, you knew we were on our way to the temple. We
Okay.
said that before we left. the
Yeah,
top.
they'd mentioned that the temple was the next stop.
Where is closer? The cross keys or the temple?
The temple is
Okay.
right dead in the center of town.
Okay, I will carry all of my things. I'm actually gonna go to like a public area And
Okay.
Sobis has a little project that he wants to work on. And I'm gonna crack open some of the paint and take one of the eggs, and I'm gonna do a thing.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So there is a big courtyard that is grassy and sort of open to everyone at the temple if you'd like to do your painting there. Otherwise, there are various squares on the road to and from the docks and the temple that you could also stop at.
Where? He'd probably just go until his arms get tired. And be like, I'm just gonna stop here.
I mean, with the exception of having just lost to Tish, your arms don't get tired all that easily.
That's true. That's true. So I'll go to the temple, but not go like inside the temple.
Okay.
So I'll just make a little area outside the temple and wait. And I assume I'll get bored eventually, and then I'll take out the egg and start doing the thing.
Okay.
Yep.
So the temple itself is built from some of the original wood of the ship that brought the first refugees to Dawn's Harbor. It has been updated and repaired and added on to since, of course. The most flashy aspect of it is a dome of stained glass that sits over top of where the sanctuary is. This is a pantheonic temple. So it is dedicated to all of the gods as opposed to just one or another. But there are also specific areas in the back of the temple dedicated to specific deities. There's also a fairly sizable area where various priests and clerics and the like can practice healing, teach, all of the things that a temple gets up to in the modern day. And there is an acolyte at the entrance to the temple that makes a bowing greeting to everyone when they arrive and bids them welcome to the temple and asks if there's anything specific that they can be of use for.
Who was the last one holding the pendant?
You?
Was it
You?
That's what I thought. I didn't know if Gloriosa had taken it back when I showed it to Tarple.
Sorry, I didn't catch that question. What was it?
It was who was holding the pendant last. I thought I was the last one holding it, showing it to Tarple, but I don't know if you took it back from Tarple. Okay, so I still got it. Anyways, so to the first, attendant that bows when we walked in, I'll go ahead and say, afternoon, Robin Wayfair, and this is most 5 Point Strike. We are here on official business, investigating the incident at the docks. We understand that there was an injured worker brought here last night, and the noble passerby seemed to have dropped a symbol of Otrix on our way, so we wanted to make sure that the young man was stable and that the friend was compensated. Any information that we could benefit from in order to help the family restore their lost and injured loved one.
The acolyte pauses for a moment. Yes, I heard about some of that from last night. Luckily, there's only one individual that came in yesterday that's still here. Their wounds were more serious, and so they're still here. The party from the northeastern part of the city has already departed. I can certainly lead you to where they're convalescing, if that would be helpful.
Of course. You mentioned a party from the northeast. Which party was that?
Well, I don't know any of their names. For some reason, the records that we normally keep of the comings and goings weren't kept last night.
Who was on duty last night?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. It was probably Penley. My understanding is that there were some nobles that preferred to not have records kept of some of the trouble that they'd gotten into.
Of course. All right.
Yes. Was this the brawl that we heard about?
I suspect it was. I was sleeping, but I suspect that you're probably right, ma'am. The brawl from last night, it's the sort of thing nobles tend to do. They throw around money and...
Does anyone know what they were fighting about?
Well, what I heard was that two gentlemen disagreed on how far their relationship had gotten. And one of them felt that it was further along than the other had, and things got out of control from there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so northeast part of the city, correct?
Yes, that's where I was given to understand that they came in from.
Fair enough. We might speak with Penley on our way out, but first, the injured worker. You said his deliverer is no longer around, or was with the original party you mentioned?
The one that brought him in had brought him in and then gone back out, but they recently returned. I believe they're in the room checking on them as we speak.
Oh, please. By all means, lead the way.
The acolyte nods and will lead you into the temple proper. There is a whole ward set aside for the injured. And in one of the nearby rooms, there's a big, nice looking bed, a table and a chair set beside it. Inside the bed is a youngish looking human man who has some bandages on his head and a number of bandages that are wrapping up an arm that is crossed over his body for healing. Sitting in the chair beside the bed is an older woman. She looks to be maybe 60 or 70. Human, getting on in age, but is sitting and softly talking with the bedridden. The sorts of things that you'd expect to hear a caretaker talking to someone who's still healing, going about doing. How are you feeling? Are you doing okay? Is there anything that I need to bring you? That sort of thing.
I turn to the acolyte and just offer them a cookie. Would you like a cookie?
The acolyte smiles. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Is this woman the person that brought him in?
Oh, she's one of our acolytes as well. She's not from here. She's been trying to work on a temple in Lake Town, apparently. But that temple is only in its very nascent days. Her name is Birdie.
Thank you for your assistance. Absolutely. We'll see ourselves out in a moment. So, Robin.
Gloriosa. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Gloriosa, after the acolyte has stepped away, is gonna lean to Robin and be like, "Able to drop a bag of gold for people to forget your name? Must be nice."
Yeah, you know how it goes. Robin will step into the room, but he looks back at Tish as he does and taps his temple real fast. Just gives Tish a little symbol as he goes, and steps into the room. Honored sister, we hear that you are to thank for averting the one actual disaster of the evening. A young man's life could have been claimed, and you have nursed him back to health, it seems. Robin Wayfair, at your service.
He smiles softly and takes your hand. I didn't do any of the nursing. I brought him here to the skilled healers. I happened to be passing through the docks district, heard the commotion, And when I went to see what had happened, he was lying there hurt, so I brought him to where he could get some healing.
And very noble of you that was. But one question I have for both of you. I know you've had a rough night standing vigil with our friend here and young man Auden, is it?
The young man sort of nods. Yeah, I'm Auden. I was in the warehouse when everything exploded.
Well, then you should be congratulated for catching an entire vessel single-handedly and living to tell the tale. But I wanted to ask either of you, is there anything that you saw last night at the docks prior to the commotion? Anything in the area that might help us report back to the Queen just what the disturbance might have been in relation to?
Okay. She sort of shakes her head a little bit. I just happened to be passing through when I heard the explosion. And when I went down closer to the docks themselves to see what had happened, I mean, there was a hole in the front of a warehouse. And so I went in to see if there was maybe anyone inside and found Auden here. He needed medical attention, so I decided that it was probably best to get him to the temple rather than try to stick around to see what all had gone on. So I was able to help him up and get him to the temple. Auden sort of nods a little bit. It doesn't look like he has a whole lot of remembering of what all happened last night.
Robin looks at Tish and raises his eyebrows like, anything? Did Tish pick up on what Robin wanted her to do and do it?
Oh, I didn't hear you.
No. Okay. Well, then Robin, apparently Tish is not understanding Robin's look that he's giving her right now. So Robin, once again, taps his head looking at Tish. Back to Auden. So, other than the ship flying through, just a quiet night up till then?
Auden nods. I mean, every so often somebody will come trying to sneak in and see if we have anything valuable, but we only had a few rough cut gems. Most of it was ore, and honestly, we don't get bothered all that much. It's just, I mean, we do a decent trade, but it's not so much that people feel the need to chase things down.
Fair. Well then, we seem to have recovered this. I'm sorry. The gentleman at the door said your name was Bertie?
Oh yes, my locket. I must have lost it when I was picking him up.
It's very pretty.
It's a simple thing, but it means the world to me. It was my grandmother's once.
Was your grandmother a healer too?
She was a believer, but not a healer.
That's so sweet.
Robin, we have a bit of a headache because we've already done a lot of thinking today.
I see. Well, then I'm very sorry. Bertie, thank you so much for looking to Auden. Auden, rest up, heal well. Happy to return your locket to you. We'll look after our friend here with the headache, and hope to see you soon.
Bertie,
Yes,
where are you from?
I'm from here in Dawn's Harbor. My family's been merchants and the like since the town was founded.
Do I know Bertie's family?
Give me a history check.
H comes before I.
In most letters.
19.
You recognize the family that she's describing, but you didn't realize that there were any still alive. The family kind of died out about a generation ago.
Birdie's pretty old, right?
Yeah. She looks septuagenarian at least.
Gloriosa.
Can
What?
I make another insight check?
Sure.
Okay. That's better than the last one. Not by much. 11.
Well, the insight that you'll get with an 11 is it is at least a little bit odd for a 70-something-year-old woman to be wandering around in the docks district at that hour of night to just so happen to be nearby enough to hear the explosion, get to the warehouse, and then help carry this person all the way to the temple.
Yeah.
A distance of a good 2 miles.
Yeah.
There's something she's not telling you.
Uh-huh.
Robin casts Detect Thoughts subtly. He's just, spinning a copper coin in his hand at the moment. And rubbing it together between his fingers, he casts Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Looking into Birdie's eyes. And just for the surface thoughts right now, says, well, Birdie, we're just very fortunate that you happen to be making the rounds around the dock so late at night.
Okay.
And what?
So she fails her save. Oh, and she doesn't get a save at the beginning part anyway, so that doesn't matter.
No.
The current surface thoughts that she's got are extremely neat and orderly, very precise, and she's thinking about how long it's going to take for Auden to probably heal up, if he's going to regain a whole lot of memory of last night. He did get hit in the head. And then who are all these adventurers coming in to see a dock worker that got injured?
Oh, no.
Well, I suppose, like I said, it just lucky coincidence. I then say to Auden, just try not to take too many night shifts from here on. I shift my Detect Thoughts to read Auden's surface thoughts.
Auden's surface thoughts are extremely chaotic. They are jumbled all over the place, and it's obvious that he's taken a hard hit to the head, and so his thoughts are still very jumbled. He thinks about not taking too many night shifts and says, yeah, I think I'll tell them that I can't take any more night shifts because the doctor came in and told me not to have any. It seems like he may think that Robin is a doctor.
Oh no.
Okay, so does my passive insight pick up that there's something hiding there that Birdie is hiding?
What is your passive insight?
14.
No. Passive insight won't pick that up. If you'd like to make an actual insight check, you're welcome to.
Sure, I'll do that.
Tish is staring down Birdie pretty hard.
Went ahead and made a check anyways. I made a 14.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yep. With
rolled
both
a-
of those insights, the incongruity of the story stands out. Like, again, She's in her 70s. What is she doing wandering around the docks? Even not like on the dock side, too. Like, she's talking about in the dock district with the warehouses and such. It's 70-something years old. Like, maybe walking along the beach, maybe that makes some sense. Kind of. But she's not even on the beach. But beyond that, it's tough to tell. She's a hard read.
So, did you... Glorious is looking at Birdie and is like kind of a little excited to find a member of this family that has all this history and like hasn't been seen around for a while. So it's like you must have a lot of stories to tell. Like, you must really have a lot of knowledge with you. Like, do you have any other family? I would love to like sit down and pick your brain. Like, that's incredible. I didn't even know. Just like kind of tripping over our own words, but like obviously like, oh my gosh, this family, like you're like a font of history. Like, I want to sit down and write your biography.
Robin,
her smile's a little tight when she smiles back at that and sort of sadly shakes her head. I'm afraid I'm the last one left, dear.
Robin was shifting his spell's focus back to her to read surface thoughts while Gloriosa said that.
The surface thoughts you get from it is, honestly, it reads like a history textbook of here is the family line and all the rest of it. Give me an intelligence check, Robin.
Will do. Just a straight up intelligence.
Just straight up intelligence.
Got it.
While he's doing that, Loomis is just gonna put it on his goggles.
Yeah, she's going through, like, this was the founder of the family, and then he married this person, and like literally a recitation of the whole lineage.
But it's just white noise in my ear, in my mind's ears right now. So Robin looks at her and says, Birdie, I need to know what you were doing at the docks last night. And as he does that, the copper coin he's rubbing starts to crumble to dust. He's exerting more effort. He pushes past the surface thoughts.
Okay. So she failed her save. So we'll go ahead and give you those things. So let's see.
Let me know when I can make another insight check, because Tish really wants to figure this out.
Go ahead and give me one now as we're going through this.
There we
Birdie
go.
looks at Robin with almost a scowl. The images you get are not of the area that she said she was in. They are absolutely of the vindictive. And she looks at Robin, and the smile is just completely gone. It's rude to pierce a lady's mind that way without permission.
And it's rude to lie when you know lives are on the line. And you obviously do.
The only life that was on the line is sitting in this bed healing. Unless there are perhaps other lives you were talking about. And I'm going to message you, Babs, with your insight check result.
Okay.
Glorious is like glancing between the old lady and Robin, like...
Yeah, is this all mental stuff? Like...
Oh no, they're talking out loud.
Oh, they're talking out loud?
Robin, don't you know who this is?
What was on the ship then? I mean, and
Robin?
do I have to make another check to push in for detect thoughts, or am I?
No, it lasts for the full minute. So you get it either way.
She's failed her save, so
she's failed her save, so you're in. You get images of the party, the Roper, and the Umber Hulk. The Roper and the Umber Hulk being loaded onto the ship, and the party going onto the ship separately.
Do any of her images notice, or do any of her images betray the idea of whether or not she recognizes us as that same party that she saw?
She doesn't seem to, because she got dark figures, not specifics. And the Dragonborn that she saw, she's assuming is a black Dragonborn because of the soot and everything else.
Hey-o, y'all are welcome for the oil, by the way.
Well, and we don't have a Dragonborn with us right now anyway.
True.
What Dragonborn?
Dragonborn?
Then I'll just look at Bertie and... Well, thank you for the information anyways, but let me just warn you that this is a cavern you might not want to delve too deep into.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
Being really rude.
I turn around as if to leave, and as I'm doing it, I point to cast message at Gloriosa. She saw the raid. Doesn't know it was us, but saw the raid. It's good to find that out.
Don't worry, Gloriosa. Robin's not being rude. And Tish will walk over to Bertie.
Oh, no.
And lean down over her.
Mm-hmm.
And yank off the wig.
Okay.
You can't just do that.
Can everybody go ahead and give me a initiative real quick?
Yeah!
No.
Meanwhile, Sobus is having a lovely
Dang
time
it.
painting an egg.
Natural 1.
Admittedly, this did catch Robin somewhat by surprise.
I didn't select my token first. We're not on a battle
Yeah, we're not on the
Battle
battle
map.
map.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
I did not, as it turns out, plan for a Temple Healing Ward battle map.
That's fine.
Well,
Here we
why
are
the
then.
heck
I don't know
not?
why.
Tobus is still on the lawn. I don't know if we can even call to him at this point.
Yeah, you're not 100% sure where Sobus is.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because he's
Last you saw him, he went off looking for ostrich eggs and camo paint.
so it's just the four of us here with fake Birdie.
So when the wig is pulled off, the dark brown hair that Tish will now recognize as Ainsley is underneath it.
You.
Gosh, that's a shock. I never would have seen that coming.
All right.
I gave you a cookie.
The most betrayal.
Is it my turn?
I
What is
have to
are
roll
we
her initiative.
what
Let's see.
We rolled initiative, and
It is her turn first, so she
Okay.
will look. She has not gone into combat mode, so I am using initiative more to get us an
Yeah.
idea of where everybody is as
Okay.
far as that goes. Do you have any idea how many bobby pins you just ripped out?
I don't care. Who are
What does
you?
it matter?
Who are you, and why are you pretending to be two different people?
Robin, you get
And why not just keep your own locket?
3 bits of information with your detect thoughts at this point.
of course,
You get a almost dossier style image of Birdie with description and background and all of that sort of thing, and one of Ainsley, but they look exactly the same in the head, as just as fake as the other. And then you get an image of the locket being literally pulled out of a mausoleum chest. Wasn't my locket in the first place. I figured it'd lead you here. I could give you the rest of the information that I wanted you to have, and you'd go about your way.
All right.
What?
I'm at the bottom of the initiative, so I'm going to let the other, two party members act first before Robin jumps in with his information.
All right. So Tish, what would you like to do here?
So you're saying that the information you have already given us is not everything? Or are you saying that what you have already given us is a lie? And I'm
saying that I couldn't give you all of the information about what was going on as an insurance clerk at the dockside.
You are free to tell us what this information is that you want us to know.
I don't know exactly what this captain thinks he found, but what he found is more valuable than you have any idea. It's not worth the lives to go looking for that thing at the bottom of the bay. It's better for everybody that it just stay down there.
And is Detect Thought still going? Am I picking up that this is all truthful and such?
It's truthful to her belief.
Got it. And I guess that gives Gloriosa and or Lunez and then Gloriosa.
Yep. Lunez, what would you like to do here?
I don't understand what is going on. So
now that the wig is off, you can see that the aged face appears to be effects makeup. It looks like she used a disguise kit. And it was a great roll until somebody yanked the wig off.
Okay. So Lunes has a lot of emotions today. So he's tired of it. And he's just going to draw a constellation of what is it? An octopus.
Okay.
And he's going to cast Entangle. He's going to restrain that person.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, and they are going to fail because I'm going to use my portent. My 6 portent.
Nice.
So they are restrained right now.
Okay.
I gave you a cookie. Restraint.
That's betrayal.
Gloriosa.
So you're not from the family that you said you were from?
No.
That's just so disappointing. I was so excited. I don't understand why you... Why? What was the point? What do you want us to do?
I don't want you all going after this treasure at the bottom of the bay and getting yourself or this entire city killed.
Who says...
Who's gonna kill it?
Who says we were going to go after this treasure at the bottom of the bay? I thought we had established that it might not exist.
Oh, it exists. Probably. And if it is what the captain thought it was, it's just money. If it is what I thought it was, it's worth more treasure than you can imagine. And sooner or later, one of the sisters from out west is going to come looking for it. As long as it's at the bottom of the bay, none of them are going to find it, and that's better for everyone involved.
Who are you?
That's a complicated question.
Let's start with your real name.
That's not a safe question for me to answer at the moment.
Would you
I'll put
still
it to
like
you
us to
this
call
way.
you Ansley or Birdie? Or is there something else you would prefer us to call you?
Either of those is fine. I'm not particular about names, as it turns out. Look, I'm under contract out west. While I'm here, I can do what I need to do. When I'm out west, I can't. I'm due to go back soon. Just look, I know adventurers. Treasure and wildest dreams money make adventurers do all sorts of things that they shouldn't do in the first place. Robin,
Lucky
what
for
would you like?
Robin looks at this person and says, giving us your real name, your real employer, and the information you're supposed to be giving us might let you walk out of this room. Otherwise, the only way you're going back west is on the tide.
She takes a long, deep breath.
Spell still going? Did I get anything?
There is more frustration in that deep breath than Robin has probably felt from a lot of people.
That's a lot.
If you want to know who I work for, I can tell you. But work for is... I don't know that I'd entirely put it that way. Under contract with is generally how we say it.
And the contract is held by...
The Siren of the Sky.
Of course.
If she finds out what is at the bottom of that bay, or what I think is at the bottom of that bay, she's going to come get it.
So she does not know.
No, I haven't reported back yet.
And
Neither does the Empress.
I don't know who's working for her here. I don't know if she has agents. I would assume she does. But she likes to do things more directly than the others do. She's not as trusting.
So you're saying that if the Siren gets word that this is at the bottom of the bay, the Siren will make a trip herself?
It's quite possible.
Well then. Good thing I crushed it under my own boot. Report that back to your mistress.
Are you sure you want me to tell her that? Since you seem to think it's the same sort of thing I do?
What if you don't tell her anything?
That's not an option.
Well then, let's just say this. I don't trust you to protect my identity in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I'm counting on something will get tortured out of you.
It doesn't have to be tortured. The contract takes care of that.
But let's just go ahead and say we saw it broken.
Fair enough.
Gloriosa's gonna kind of elbow Lunez, like, hey, let her go, let her go.
I drop it.
She takes a deep breath and sort of stretches a little bit, straightens up. Thank you.
They also, it looked like cosmic tentacles that would wrap in this person.
Dope.
Space Cthulhu it is.
It is.
Ooh. Is that against TOS? Give her her wig back, Tish. Give her her wig back.
You can keep the wig if you want. It's ripped now.
We won't stop you from getting out of the city. But if we find that you're back, no promises.
You almost didn't find out I was here in the first place, but I will keep that in mind. Look, I'm taking an awful risk giving you any kind of information as it is. Just remember that a lot of the things that happen out west happen because they have to, and not because we want them to.
You're like Sobis was.
I don't know who Sobis is. I assume that's your Dragonborn?
He had a contract too.
Then yes, I'm like Sobis is.
Get away. If you can get away, get away. But if you have to return, if you have to go back, then the egg was broken.
I have to go back.
Then you have your story.
Gods be with you. I don't know that anybody else is going to if they come looking for you. And
No
with
more
that,
option.
she'll head out a window.
Of course.
Smoke bomb.
Well,
And with that, we are already over time.
yes.
Wait, just one more thing.
Okay.
Just go outside.
We,
For the love of God.
So
We
we're
have-
all so we're all like all heavy and like
it's all heavy, and Robin says to the
really
party,
thinking hard.
it's back to the cross keys. We spend every moment from now till dawn getting ready, and we have to beat the sun out of Dawn's Harbor. We're headed to the chancel. We'll send word to the queens. And so on our way out, we return to the cross keys.
We
What
find
is Dobby doing?
So all of the paint cans are like spread out and open. There's a pile of eggs, a pile of 5 eggs sitting next to him, and he's just huddled around. His back is to y'all, and he's just huddled around this egg, just working on it.
are the 5 eggs still egg colored?
Yeah, the 5 eggs are still they're
Okay,
untouched.
that's just okay. And if we come around, Sobis, you didn't have to get that many eggs. I just needed one.
Oh, yeah, I figured, but whenever my family used to fight, how we'd fix it is we'd do something together. And I hold up my egg and start slowly turning it. And like a second grader's drawing, there are little stick figures. One stick figure has horns. One stick figure has goggles, and right next to it is an animal of some sort, probably a dog. Next to that, and these stick figures are all like their arms are touching, like holding hands, kind of. Next to the dog is another stick figure in a dress, and red, but you don't red hair, and you don't see any red paint anywhere. Next to that is a taller stick figure, also red hair. And then next to that is a large stick figure with kind of a more pointed face.
Sobis.
How fucking dare you, man?
Sobis.
He drew this on one of the eggs?
Yeah. It goes like all the way around.
It's a panorama.
Sobis, it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
pretty.
It's the best thing ever.
I mean, we're family.
Gonna kind of come over and like hug Sobis and then be like, "Oh, there's paint now. Never mind. I'd hug him anyway.
Let's see. How tall are you?
Not very.
4'10".
Okay, so you about like come up to my waist.
I'm checking. Yeah, 4'10". So waist is probably about right.
Yeah, he hugs you back, and as you pull away, he'll lift his hand up, and there's blood on your shoulder.
Oh God! So
That's the end.
I can't think of a better moment to end on than the reveal that Sobus managed to get the red hair via blood because he didn't buy any red paint.
This is what Sobus would do.
GG's.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for a much heavier but definitely informative session of Utharian Legends. With luck, we will have an opportunity to have Alma join us for the journey next time. We'll see how our beloved Jess is holding up when we get closer. As we watch the party do some traveling and leave the city for the first time, it sounds like, which will be intriguing, certainly.
Woot.
Meanwhile, I want to give everybody a chance to go around and say where we're going to find them. And I'm going to start with Mr. TTRPG Gifts himself, because you have a special thing going on this week, don't you?
Yes, I do. Forgot. I was like, what? Yeah. Next Saturday, we're going to have the Golden TTRP Gifts award ceremony, and it's going to be live. This is all you can find us. It's going to be May 22nd at 4 p.m. PT on the twitch.tv/TTRP Gifts, and we're going to have prizes. There's going to be giveaways. I'm gonna announce the winners, and it's all for charity. So be there if you can.
All right, and Robin, who is definitely not the same as Finn, no matter how many times we mix up that name.
Somewhere there's a Venn diagram, and that overlap is not small. But I am Finnegan Archer, the Bloodhaven Bard. You can find me on Twitch at Bloodhaven Bard. You can find me every other Sunday here on Chaotic Tiefling playing Utharian Legends. And June, producer, remind me which date we picked.
June 12th.
June 12th, thank you. June 12th, What Streams May Come, with myself and my lovely co-host, Jessica Skellington, medical science willing, will host a reading of Henry V on Chaotic Tiefling that Saturday night at 7. Hope to see you all there.
All right. Gloriosa.
Hello, you can find me at Blaze of Gloriosa on both Twitter and Twitch, and you can also find me lurking around the Chaotic Tiefling Discord. It's a fun Discord, so I like to hang out there. Pretty rad place. So come find me.
And our beloved Sobus.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at Bigby's Hand. You can also find me on Twitch at Bigby's_hand. I have to redo my schedule now because I'm in a different state and I have a different job.
Zone.
Yep, in a different time zone.
And doesn't have a place to live other than a spare bedroom at my house.
So any changes to my schedule will be posted on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter so you know what's happening.
And don't forget, you can also catch the illustrious Bigby's Hand right here on Chaotic Tiefling ATL on Wednesday evenings, because surprise, surprise, he's part of the surprise party this season too.
Heyo.
And Miss Barbara, last but certainly not least.
Hey everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Babs the Bat. I am the chaos coordinator and wrangler of cats here at Chaotic Tiefling. And yeah, we just kicked off season 2 of D&D Surprise Party. That includes the wonderful Bigby's Hand and some of our other really wonderful faces that you've seen around What Streams May Come. That premiered this past Wednesday, so for the next couple of Wednesdays, they will be playing in our lovely Ye Old Dragons homebrew world. And then, like Finn said, we have What Streams May Come in June 12th. Our next episode of this will be May
The 30th.
Yeah, May 30th. That's a thing. And you can also find me around the Rock Punch ATL channel where I do all of the things because that's the job that pays me. So, yeah, I am happy to be guesting here on this show. This is so much fun. And we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It has been a wonderful episode as always. We will see you very soon.
We're gonna raid High Rollers D&D.
Excellent. I was just about to ask. So stick with us. Pass on the love and affection and the wonderful energy that you brought to us over to High Rollers D&D. And we will see you hopefully here Wednesday for Surprise Party.